Welcome, listeners, to this Speaking from Our Hearts podcast episode, where I am absolutely delighted to be having a conversation with a lady from Switzerland, Simone Anliker. And Simone today is chosen a very, very interesting title, and it's called Listening and Speaking from Our Hearts. So, Simone, a very, very warm welcome to you.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Excellent.
Really
So,
happy to be
right,
here.
listening and speaking from our hearts, Simone. Tell us more, please.
Yes, that's. I'm really passionate about this because it's so much helping myself to connect with myself inside of me and to really deeply, truly listening to the person I'm with. So it's actually. I don't really want to call it a technique. It's a meditation practice in pairs. I learned from a dear friend of mine. His name is Robert Gonzalez, and he actually learned it from his spiritual practice. It's originated in the Enlightenment Intensive. And it's a way of being with each other in the presence of each other and truly deeply listening to each other. And also really speaking speaking your truth, speaking my truth, and being received. Yeah. And that's just a beautiful, beautiful practice. As I say, really lucky and happy that I'm feeling blessed that this came into my life.
Yeah, and you know, Simone, obviously it goes without saying that I totally understand that, because it'd be embarrassing if I didn't understand it, because I've got a podcast called Speaking from Our Heart. So, if I didn't understand, but the listening bit, I think that's so much overlooked in our world about the power of listening to each other and being present with people. And, there's a train of thought that says the most powerful words are those that are never spoken. And that really heightens the listening element, doesn't it, of being present and feeling what that person's saying and sharing that compassion of, that insight into their world.
And what I, especially in this practice, I like, it is actually a listening, not so much because I want to respond to what I'm hearing, but to be fully received, or to receive the one who is speaking fully. And that's also part of how this came alive. Charles Berner, who created the Enlightenment Intensive, he has one of these saying. He says, when we are received fully, then knowledge turns into wisdom.
Yeah.
And I really like that. There is something in that. I see that inside of me when I go inside and contemplate in the presence of someone else. First of all, I have access to my inner world because there is much more presence here. It's my presence and the presence of the other person. And what the listener actually does, he's not interacting with me, which we normally do in conversation, kind of this nodding and this smiling and this confirming. So the idea of having someone who is present with me is more just having the pure essence of presence instead of having the interaction. And that by itself causes something inside of me that I can deeply go inside and connect with my inner wisdom. So for me, this is like the purest art of contemplation I ever experienced, because I get access to I become my own guru. It's not about learning from out there, but it's learning from inside out. And then what's also so powerful, I speak it out. Yeah. Many people that meditate in their own inner world, but then there's something bringing this into the space between us. and it's being received in that space. That makes it so powerful. That's, in my understanding, when knowledge, inner knowing, turns into wisdom.
Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.